Hi everyone, welcome to your reading for Wednesday, August 12th and Thursday, August 13th. Your affirmation for Wednesday is, events come and go, but my love for myself is constant. I refuse all criticism and judgment. Instead, I choose to understand that, in truth, all is well. So for Wednesday's reading, I'll be using 3 cards from the Chrysalis Tarot, but I'm going to focus on the first 2 first. So let's start with those. The Lovers and the 6 of Scrolls. So the 6 of Scrolls is actually the 6 of Swords from the traditional tarot. So seeing the Lovers card, which is a card that we also had in last week's romance reading, the Lovers indicates that some of your relationships may be going to a new level, a deeper level. And if you're single, this might mean that you eventually meet someone with whom you have a romantic encounter with, a romantic interest in, or maybe you begin a relationship with this person. But with the 6 of Scrolls, which is about overcoming a difficult time, it doesn't necessarily represent the obstacle so much as it represents your ability to overcome it. The 6 of Scrolls really depicts you on the better side of that obstacle. So I feel like this is a really positive card. This is one of the best cards that you could ever hope to see in a tarot reading, because you are at a place to where you're overcoming those obstacles. So if you're single and you have been single for a long time and you've been really unhappy about it, this might mean that you have overcome that and you eventually meet someone. But the 6 of Scrolls can be financial difficulties in a relationship. It can represent misunderstandings. It could be distance, maybe for those of you who are in a long distance relationship. It could represent health issues. Whatever your obstacle is, the 6 of Scrolls depicts you moving past that and into a happier place in your relationship. So this is a very positive card and also really welcome card, I'm sure, for many of you, because it's a really positive sign of things to come. And so the third card and last card for today is the 6 of Spirals, which is the same as the 6 of Wands from the traditional tarot. And the 6 of Wands, it's all about self-confidence. It's all about a celebration of some kind. It's all about having your day in the sun. So the 6 of Spirals to me is all about some of you finally having your moment. You're finally having your day in the sun where you meet someone and you're really happy about it. And if you're in a relationship and maybe you feel like you're not getting enough attention, maybe you feel like things are not going your way, I feel like you are finally getting that attention that you feel like you deserve. And you finally have something that you feel like is worth celebrating. Because the 6 of Spirals, it's also a card of celebration. It's all about happiness. It's all about triumph. So to me, you might be happy because you're finally able to overcome those obstacles. And this shows you really excited about that. This shows you really happy that things are going well. You feel like there's something worth celebrating. There's something worth being happy about. So if you're going through any obstacles right now, if you are feeling discouraged, remember that we also had a romance reading on Friday that was encouraging a lot of you not to give up on the people that you're interested in. And I know this is something that is not going to apply to everyone, but I feel like for many of you watching that, yes, it will apply to you, that you just need to hang in there and you will eventually overcome these difficult times in your life where if you're single and you don't have anyone in your life, you will eventually meet someone. And if you're going through a rocky time where you're unsure if your relationship is going to work out, or everything seems to be going wrong, or you have one obstacle after another, the 6 of Scrolls is definitely the card that you will want to see, because it shows you at a point in your relationship where you have moved past these obstacles and you actually have something to celebrate. You have something to be happy about in the Six of Spirals. So I feel like you're finally getting your day in the sun. You're finally at a point to where you feel like you have something to be happy about. And for a lot of you who are afraid to take a chance on someone, the Six of Spirals could represent the need to be confident, not only in yourself, but in this other person, that the risk is worth taking, because it is one that could ultimately lead to happiness if you're willing to work on the relationship, if you're willing to believe that you can overcome the obstacles that have been presented to you. So that concludes the reading for Wednesday. I'm going to move on to Thursday's reading, but let's start with the affirmation. Spiritual growth means that I start the forgiveness process. I love the feeling of freedom when I let go of my stuff. So for Thursday's reading, I decided to use the Gateway Oracle cards. And just as I did for Wednesday's reading, I'm going to start with the first two cards. So the first two cards are Following Your Bliss, My Soul Sings with Joy, and Dwelling in Truth. I stand in the light of truth. So you can see there's a girl here who's playing a flute, and she has one foot standing on a unicorn. And in the background, you can see a beautiful land. You can see the moon and the stars and the sun. And to me, she's just extremely happy. She's blissfully happy because she's doing something that she loves. She's playing this musical instrument that's bringing her a lot of joy. And for some of you, I feel like this is something that is missing from your lives right now. And this is something that Spirit wants you to focus on. And for her, for this girl in the image, she is dwelling in her truth, and that is what the second card is asking some of you to do. So they're asking you to bring more joy and excitement into your life, and the way to do that is by really going within. As you can see, this person in the second card doing, her eyes are closed. It looks as though she's deep in meditation, but she's really trying to connect with herself. She's trying to connect with her truth in order to feel a better sense of what is right for her in life. She's not the type of person to live her life based on what other people expect of her. She's someone who's going to dwell in her own truth. She's someone who's going to follow her own bliss. So think about your dreams in life. How many of you have put your dreams on hold? Maybe because you feel like you have a family now, you have children, and you have to think about them first. And that is a very loving and responsible thing for parents to do when they put their lives on hold for their children or their families. But I feel like Spirit is saying that now is the time to focus more on you and what you want. These cards are indicating that you need to also put some energy into things that make you happy. So, for example, how many of you want to write a book? How many of you want to work in the music industry? What are your dreams? What are your ambitions? What are your goals in life? Now's the time to really do things that make you happy. And this is not necessarily about your goals, but just living the kind of life that makes you happy and not having regrets about that. Even if this is about moving on the other side of the country or the other side of the world, even if this is pursuing a completely different path spiritually than your friends and your family, you have to be at a point in your life where you are comfortable enough with yourself that you're not worried about what other people are going to think. You're not worried about people telling you that you cannot accomplish your goals, or that your goals are too big, or that they are too scary, or that they are impossible. Because that is what happens sometimes when you share your dreams with other people. The first thing that they'll tell you is how difficult they'll be to accomplish. The first thing they'll tell you is how impossible they are, or how crazy they are, or how you are pursuing some kind of pipe dream. But now is not the time to put energy into what other people think. Now's the time to live your life for yourself. Now's the time to go within and to figure out what is true for you, what makes you happy, what will bring you a sense of joy and accomplishment and peace and life, and go in that direction. Whether this is about pursuing a new job or a new hobby or making some kind of big drastic change in your life, if that's what makes you happy, Spirit is asking you to focus on that because you need more joy and excitement in your life. And the third card and final card for today is embarking on an adventure. I savor the wonders of the world. Yeah, so for some of you, this could be about travel. This could be about moving in a completely different direction. It doesn't necessarily have to be about travel in a physical sense, but it could be more of a symbolic thing. Maybe you moving from one state of mind to the other, or maybe you making some big transition, or maybe you just bringing a sense of joy and excitement into your life. And I feel like that is what some people are missing. Our lives are not meant to be revolved around our work. There's just so much more to life than being born and going to school and getting an education and getting married and getting a job and dying. There's so much more to life than that. And I feel like some of you need this sense of joy. You need this sense of adventure. And that begins by you pursuing your passions in life, dwelling in your truth, figuring out what makes you happy. What are your dreams? What are your ambitions? What are your goals? What brings a smile to your face? Now's the time to start focusing on those little things that make you happy. Now's the time to start having adventures. And you can have an adventure sometimes by going on the other side of the world, or you can have an adventure right in your own city, right in your own neighborhood, just by doing something that you have never done before. So when was the last time that you did something for the first time? Think about ways that you can bring more joy and more excitement into your life. This might mean you create a new hobby. This might mean meeting new people, making new friends. This might mean giving someone a chance, someone that you were afraid to have a relationship with, maybe for fear of what society would say, for fear of what your family or friends would say. Now's the time to overcome those fears and to not put so much emphasis on what other people say or how other people believe that you should live your life. Now's the time to make decisions based on what makes you happy. And when you're following your bliss and when you're following your passions in life, you'll find that you're much happier and you're much more content. We're not meant to live our lives based on other people's opinions and expectations of us, nor are we meant to live our lives based on our fears. Some people allow their fears to prevent them from taking chances, to prevent them from living the kind of lives that they truly want to live. But this is the way to bring more joy into your life, by dwelling in your truth and following your bliss. And I hope you have the courage to do that, because life is short. So I thank you all for watching. I hope you found this reading helpful. I love you all, and I'll see you on Friday.